Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode. Basically, the Irish Heat back at you again with a season preview. And we have my main man, Marcelo, from across the pond in the USA. How you keeping, bro?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, the Irish sensation, David Harris, the king. Let's go, bro. I'm ready.
It's no problem. It's my pleasure, man. Look, it's great to be able to speak to Spurs fans all across the world. And this is what YouTube is about, is to get everyone's opinion. So,
As your
yeah.
as your Irishman said, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over. We're taking over YouTube, bro.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. That's McGregor. And
Yeah.
a lot of people say I sound like McGregor, but trust me, I'm no McGregor. But anyway, look, starting with the Premier League, basically, Marcelo. We've played 9 games. We have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've won 7, drew 2, and lost 1. And we've scored 21 goals and we've conceded 9. And look, we've scored a lot of goals so far. But we're averaging conceding 1 goal a game. Is
Yep.
that something you think we need to tighten up on, basically, if we are going for the league, like me and you really believe?
Yeah. So I think we were having defensive issues at the beginning of the season. I think that's been improving. If you look at the West Ham game, I think 4 games after, 4 Premier League games after, we've only conceded 1 goal, which was against Brighton. And that was, a horrible goal. I mean, like that whole VAR decision where they fouled Hoiberg. So I think the defense is slowly improving. At the beginning of the season, I would say that. I would agree with you, but I think we are seeing that defense tightening up, and especially against City. I mean that was such a disciplined masterclass.
Yeah.
That yeah, we are improving as a defense. I'm hopeful. Yep.
And we've dropped points basically against Newcastle, West Ham, and Everton, all home games. So that's 7 points we've dropped at home. Um, Obviously, that's something we really do need to improve on going forward. But
Yeah.
look, like you said, the City game and the Brighton game has proven that we're starting to get over them little hurdles.
Hmm.
And like the City game was huge. I'd just like to hear your thoughts on the City game, really, everything about it.
Listen, it was exactly how I thought it would be. I called it. If you want to check the We Are Tottenham TV, you could check my pre-match. I'm not blowing smoke. I said it. This defense is improving, and it's not even just the Brighton game. If you look at the West Brom game, you look at the Burnley game, just discipline. Everybody is disciplined. You see Kane helping out, you see Son helping out. It's a unit that's defending, and I'm just saying, like, I thought we would stifle City's attack as a unit, and that's exactly what we did. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
this is something we have not seen. Even under Poch, who I loved. You know what I mean? I love Poch ball, but this is something we rarely see. You know what I mean? Us defending as a unit, everybody doing their job, their bits and pieces, and it's just like if we can stay disciplined like that throughout the season, which will be hard. We will
yeah.
concede goals. It's football, but if we can stay that disciplined, I'm telling you, we can win the league.
Yeah, look, the discipline for me, the major improvements in the defensive side of things has come down to Eric Dyer really stepping up over the last few games, staying concentrated, staying switched on, and also just to see against City, Harry Kane basically dropping into midfield, sometimes in our own box defending and sacrificing goals to keep the clean sheet, to get the win. It
Yeah.
just shows everything about the squad unity at the minute, especially when you hear the likes
Yeah.
of Eric Dyer coming out and the way he's talking, the way Alderweireld is
Yeah.
talking, the way Kane is talking in the press. It's a big mentality shift. Um,
Yeah.
what do you
I
make on it?
agree. I agree with you. I agree with that whole the interviews. If you look at it before, when we had a big win like this, everybody would just be like happy, celebrating, like like we won a trophy or something. You know what I mean? Because like, oh my God, we beat City, stuff like that. But you look at these guys' interview, they're not happy with just beating City. They're not happy. Like even some
Yeah,
of them have said, look. Performance could have been better. Some people even came out and said, like criticizing themselves. And that's something Mourinho, if you watch the documentary, that's something he always wants. Guys criticizing themselves, people demanding more of each other because that's what you need as champions. If you say, the one thing I watched Sir Alex Ferguson documentary, and he said, "How can I stay at the top?" And then he said to himself, "Always think that I'm second place. Always have that
yeah,
mentality that I'm second place, that I need to improve, that I need to get hungrier, and and push yourself to the limits. And these guys have a championship mentality. I'm telling you, man. If you're not on the bandwagon right now, like David and I are, join it, because this is a different squad. We're winning a trophy.
yeah. I fully believe in it. Even just listening to Mourinho's shithousery in the press after, basically they were talking about them having City having 80% of the possession. And Mourinho basically just turned around and says, "Look, they can take the ball home with them. I'm taking 3 points." And at the end of the day, it just goes to show the mentality of the guy. Basically, 3 points is what matters. It's what
Ex-
counts.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
got the job done.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we gone to West Brom or teams like Brighton or teams that play 11 goalkeepers? We play fluid football. We open them up, but we don't take our chances. And then, while playing that flowing football, they get one counter attack, and they score a goal, and we go out there with a point, or no points at all. So it's
Yeah.
I mean, you got to stay disciplined. You got to respect every team in the Premier League. No game is easy in the Premier League. Even these relegation teams.
Yeah. No, I just want to touch on each of the games. The nine
Yeah.
games that we've played in the Premier League so far. So we'll start with the Everton game where we lost 1-0. Look, I was very upset after. If you go on to We Are Tottenham TV, you'll see my fan cam. The boys again, Ben and Sim, put out great content over there. So make sure you get over and check it out if you already haven't. And basically, I was very upset after, just purely because it was the first game of the season. I was absolutely raring to go. I was buzzing for it, and I
Yeah.
felt let down like I had done coming into the back end of last season with some games. And yeah, look, I was very angry, but I was still on the Jose train. I was still on the Jose train. And looking back on it now, I think it was just first game of the season, the lack of preseason really, that really incurred that loss. Because I firmly believe now if we played them, we'd beat them. What do you think on that game?
Yeah, you hit it spot on. It was a preseason match. A lot of players were still coming fit. We didn't have one of the best preseason. Even Hoiberg looked very sloppy, which, we're looking at him now. He looks absolutely fantastic. So it was a preseason match pretty much. I don't think on it too much. We also didn't have our signings. Also, I would say this, that Everton loss is probably one of the best things to happen to Tottenham, because imagine if we turn it around, we scored 2 goals, right? And then everybody, is happy and say, "Oh, we have a good enough squad." And then we don't sign Regulon, we don't sign Bale, we
Yeah,
don't sign Rodon, we don't sign any of these players. You know what I mean? And I felt if there was any time to lose, it's always better to lose the beginning of the season, because that's where teams
yeah,
are usually warming up. Big teams are usually not at their fittest level. So I was upset. I was, pretty depressed. I watched it with a couple of friends. You can ask them. I was really down because I thought, man, here we go, another season. But once I saw those signings, I was like, man, we got the squad to win the Premier League. I'm telling you, we got it, and that's what it looks like right now, man.
yeah. Look, I fully agree with you, Derek. In hindsight, it was a blessing in disguise, really. Like you said, with the signings we went and made after. And it was a point that Mourinho probably went to Levy and just said, "Look, the squad's not good enough. What we have, we need more." And Levy listened and went and got the players in. Now moving on to the Southampton game. Look, we really picked things up. We absolutely destroyed them 5-2.
Masterclass,
Son absolutely ripped
Sonaldo.
Walker Peters. He ripped Walker Peters a new one. He kept on doing the
Yeah.
same run on the inside of him every time, and that's where we really seen Harry Kane start his great run of form.
Yeah.
Look, the guy's outstanding. To me, he's the best number 10 in the world. He's also the best number 9 in the world because he can play
Best
there
number
also.
9, best number 10, best defender, best midfielder, best everything, man. You know what I mean? People like Arsenal fans comparing this man to Obama fraud. It's unbelievable. I mean, Kane is just so world class at everything he does, and it's all work ethic. I'm sorry that I interrupted you, but it's all work that ethic, man.
No, no, keep going, lad. You're all right.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like it's all work ethic, because I don't know if you remember, in the beginning, a lot of people criticized Kane for not being a good footballer. When he was in the academy, a lot of people didn't want him. Even Arsenal didn't want him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just to see the player he is now from where he began, it's fantastic. It's all hard work. He's a unicorn, man. He's a unicorn.
Yeah, look, the sheer hard work and the dedication and everyday practice that guy puts in. to be the player he is now. He fully deserves a trophy, and you can
He
see he so
does.
desperately wants it at Tottenham.
Yeah.
And the fact that we got Jose in when we did means he was going to stay.
Yeah.
And look, he for about a year or two there now, basically since he got injured in the semi-final against or the quarter-final in the Champions League against Man City that time, for me, he just never looked fit. But this
Yeah.
season, he just looks on a different level altogether. Yeah, we also conceded 2 games in that game against Southampton, which was very disappointing. But to see us put 5 by them and rip them apart the way we did, when people maybe questioned that we can't play attacking football, that Harry Kane can't score goals underneath Mourinho, basically saying someone's doing a lot more defensive work than what he should be doing. But at the end of the day, Mourinho's right in what he's done, getting all the players to put the work and effort in they have done. And that Southampton game showed it, that we can also, if we need to, we can outscore teams, basically.
Yeah, he's not it showed he's not a limited manager. You know what I mean? A lot of people only criticize Mourinho to being a counter-attacking manager. I think you saw in that game and in a couple games afterwards, you know what I mean? That we can play tiki-taka football, we can play counter football, we can play explosive rock and roll football, and we can play defensive football. I think we are one of the best balanced team. I always say it we are Tottenham TV. It's all about balance, man. You know what I mean? You can put the best players in the world. You know, you can look at United. You know, you look on paper, they have some of the best players in the world. You can put the best players in the world, but if you don't have balance, that means nothing. Nothing, man. Because you need the leadership, you need the quality, and you need the physicality and the discipline to be winners.
Yeah, fully agree with you. And that's moving into the next game now, the Newcastle game, where I thought we were very well balanced, especially defensively. Going forward, we were world class that day. Look, their keeper, as happens time and time again, where a keeper seems to turn up and just save absolutely everything.
Man became
I
Prime
can
Neuer.
remember De Gea doing it. I can remember Tim Krul doing it. There's a few keepers that spring to mind.
Yeah, man.
And then the VAR decision at the end, look, that was painful. I'm not messing. I almost broke into tears. It was so frustrating.
That was one. I'm sorry. That VAR properly pissed me off because one, it was not even a foul on Højbjerg. If you look at that free kick, Højbjerg gets nudged at the back. So how is that a foul if Højbjerg is getting the one tackled from the back and knocked down? So that was horrendous already. And then that freak, that set piece, the guy pushes Dyer. Dyer's falling down, and he just heads the ball in his arm. And I mean, they gotta fix this handball rule, man. I know, we've had, I guess we've been screwed over it, and it's been affecting us, but it's also affecting a lot of other teams, and they need to fix this handball rule because it's horrendous. That was a robbery in my eyes.
Yeah, look, it completely took away from the fact that performance that day. Really, it completely overshadowed that performance that day because I thought we were very good that day. In fairness,
I agree. I thought, like you said, it was our most balanced performance. They didn't have a single shot on target. We dominated everything.
But again, probably another blessing in disguise, maybe, that we need to be ruthless, because then when we move on to the United game, we went up to theatre of nightmares and we absolutely ripped them apart 6-1 after going down 1-0 to a penalty decision.
I think this is what we're talking about, mentality, man. You know what I mean? People's been saying, oh, just wait until Spurs have a few setbacks, you know what I mean? Have a few, things not go their way. Man, we've already had things not go our way this season. And look at it. We've always come back stronger and better. And that United game was fantastic. That was, some just beautiful attacking football, man. Yeah, that's gonna go down in history, man. 6-1 at Old Trafford. Not many teams can do it.
Yeah, and it was an absolute masterstroke that day. Mourinho starting Lamela just purely because of the work rate and the guile and the aggressiveness that guy has, and he's willing to track back and do the dirty side of the game. And then getting Martial sent off. Look, he played that. A lot of fans were giving out about it, saying, "Oh, Lamela should have went as well." At the end of the day, Martial wasn't smart enough to go down when Lamela hit him, and then he reacted. And make no mistakes about it, Marcelo. I'm convinced Mourinho told Lamela, at set pieces, get at Martial, because he does have a temperament problem, this guy.
He
You
does,
can see it even in his fight, the way he plays. He's throwing his hands up in the air a lot of times. But look, it was another great game for Harry Kane and Son that day. Notable
fantastic.
performances as well from Ndombele and Lamela also. Look, it culminated into a victory that we really celebrated and rubbed in. It was perfect. It was a great day for us.
It was
Look, let's
amazing.
face it. Let's face it. United have always had the better of us at Old Trafford, bar a couple of results.
Yeah,
And look, it was great to go up there and absolutely smash them. We made a
smashed him.
show of Maguire that day. We absolutely made a show of him. And look, it was a great win. What's your take on it?
I mean, I'm just saying, Ollie at the wheel, baby. Come on, bro. Although I don't think he's riding the regular bus, bro. He might be riding the short bus because that man has no clue on what he's doing, bro. I'm telling you, man. That was a pure masterclass by Mourinho. And like you said, bro, get on Martial's skin. That is, being a C word 101. I don't know if we can cuss, but I'd rather not say it, but that's being a C word 101, Mourinho
Yeah,
style, man. Get in player's head, fall over. It's part of the game. You know what I mean? If Martial went down, when Lamella, pushed him, I guarantee you Lamella would have gotten a red card, or he definitely would have been carded. You know what I mean? But
he would have been punished, but at the end of the day, the experience that Lamela showed to go down and make the most of it, knowing there's cameras, and at the end of the day, that's again what Mourinho drones into these players. You have to be clever. You have to
yeah,
be
yeah.
clever.
You have to be a C word, man. You have to be better. You have to, it's all about winning. You know what I mean? Like we always say in history, you know what I mean? History is written by the winners. Sir Alex Ferguson, nobody talks about the stuff they did. They did. When they won the Premier League, they've done many dirty stuff in the past, man. Like dive, fall over. Look at Fernandez. You know what I mean? Just diving all around. You know what I mean? But nobody talks about it because it's all about winning. It's all about getting the 3 points. Nobody cares how you do it. Fans can say, "Oh, look at City. They won Premier Leagues, but they spent billions of dollars. They're oil FC or whatever." You think their fans care? They don't care. They're there celebrating, two or three
Yeah,
Premier Leagues or whatever many they won. It's all about winning at the end of the day, and Jose
yeah,
knows that. He knows what it takes to be a winner.
yeah. Look, I fully agree with you. Like we've been calling out for the last few years now, especially when the Poch trying to get over the line, especially toward the end of Poch's tenure. Basically, it's not good enough just to participate in the semi-finals and finals. We want to get over the line, and it's about winning. And look,
Exactly.
that's the mentality that Mourinho has brought in. That maybe Poch lacked and probably cost him his job at the end of the day. Do you know?
Yeah.
I've made my opinions clear on that. But then the same old questions were raised after at the West Ham game, where we were absolutely cruising. We had Bale through, and he missed where he would have usually scored, and then it all unravelled and fell apart from there. And the same old questions were raised the Spursy way.
Yeah.
But look, it's not one personally I had a meltdown to. I just seen it as another lesson. Basically going forward, another lesson that the game's never done. You have to play the 90 minutes. And look, it was heartbreak. It was heartbreak. It was like
Yeah.
again,
Seeing
it's a
Lanzini
rival.
score
It was
that one
absolutely
in a
heartbreaking to
thousand.
take. But
Yeah. Seeing
that
Lanzini.
equaliser was a one in a million, one in a
Yeah.
million shot. Like.
Yeah, that game, I'm not gonna lie, I was proper pissed off at that game. I wasn't pissed off at the offense. You know what I mean? Like I know people say we should have killed off the game. I think if you want to be champions, if you're 3-0 up, there's 10 minutes to go. The defense and everybody has to put a collective effort to see it out. You know what I mean? Even if it's a 1-0, you know what I mean, 1-0 lead and it's 10 minutes to go. Look at Liverpool last season, man. How many games did they win by a one goal margin? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
all about being defensive, being disciplined, and seeing out the result. And that game, I said it. We can still win the league. After my interview, I still believe we can win the
yeah,
league. But we need to improve that discipline. We need to be more
yeah,
disciplined. You can't let 3 goals in 10 minutes. That was embarrassing, and I think it's another thing with Sanchez. He has to improve. You know what I mean? That mentality he has, because I do think he's a good defender, man. I don't think he's that bad of a defender. It's just that he has these like 10 minutes lapse of concentration where he just completely forgets where he is and just
yeah,
panics. And I don't get it. You look at Dyer and Toby. You don't see them panicking. You see them being ice cold, calm, collective, and disciplined. And you know maybe that was another blessing in disguise for us. You know what I mean? Maybe it was another
Yeah,
blessing in disguise that it's never over until the final whistle is blown. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I think you saw that mentality with the boys. I think also Mourinho that game, he made the wrong substitutions. He should have made substitutions to help the defense. Instead, he made more, forward substitutions like Lucas and Bale. Obviously you wanted to do a Bale debut, but I think when you're 3
Yeah.
nil up, it's better to see the result.
And it's also the game where we see Ndombele really come out of himself. I remember watching the game. He made 2 or 3 tackles on the trot there at one stage. The guy
Yeah.
was absolutely immense. And I think, to be honest with you, the 3 goals going in, I think, had a lot with Ndombele being substituted. And I know a couple of times this season, Mourinho has got the substitutions wrong. Is that an area that worries you?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes his substitutions is I'm not a big fan of it. Sometimes he tends to play Davies a little bit too much, which is another thing I'm not a big fan of. If that is only my if I have to criticize Mourinho, that's the only thing. That's the only 2 things I have to criticize him about. Sometimes I don't think he's made the right substitution, and sometimes he has his favorites. But otherwise, I do think we are improvement in terms of substitution. I think Mourinho is seeing that. I think last City game he could have put in Bale, for us, so the fans can see, oh, come on, another Bale goal. But instead, he said, no, I'm going to be disciplined, going to tighten up the defense. We're going to see this out, and I think he's improving. I think Mourinho. Every game you look at him, he's improving the team and he's improving himself as a manager. So, man,
And it's also, sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say it's all but smiles, man. I can't complain with Mourinho. It's been
Yeah.
fantastic this season.
Yeah, look, I'm giving him a 9 out of 10 so far. For me, the only disappointing thing is some of his substitutions at times. But look, he's getting used to the squad, and I'm looking out over the next 4 games that we will be talking about. You can see the major improvements, and I firmly believe he's starting to know his best 11, his impact substitutions, which all matters realistically. But
It
another thing
does.
on the West Ham game, it's a player that divides a lot of opinion on the fan base. And look, I've made no secret about my opinions on this guy. It's Harry Winks. To me, look, he was brought on for Ndombele in that game, and things just fell apart purely
Yeah.
because I've said it time and time again. Anytime this guy plays in midfield, we just get overrun. We get completely overrun. We don't seem to break up the play like Højbjerg does, and then Ndombele and Sissoko does. And look, the guy plays it too safe as well, in my opinion. And he just lacks the aggression to play there and the quality to play there, especially if we're a team that wants to go in the Premier League. Like, to me, he does a lot of 5 yard passes, sideway passes. Now, look, I get when you're winning a game 2-3-0 and you want to kind of control it and see it out. Yeah, maybe he's good at that. But when you in a derby game, when you have a team like West Ham, especially when they get the first goal and they build up a bit of steam, he's not the guy you want in there for me. Like, even if you look back at the equaliser, he went to try and clear the first one and he just gave it a little flick. And then the second one, for me, you have to smash
Yeah.
Lanzini.
Lace
You have to
through it,
take
man.
whatever comes, whether it's a yellow card or red card, give away the free kick. Because to me, not too many goals are scored from free kicks in the Premier League. And look, to me, it was one where it signalled the end for Winks for me. But look, I know you're a big fan of Winks. So what's your opinion, basically?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of him. I just think we need to, if you look at Winks when he started, you know what I mean, and even last season, I thought he had a good season. I just think right now he needs to. I do agree with you. I think he needs to step up. You know what I mean? If you look at this midfield, I think Musa, I think Ndombele, Lo Celso, Højbjerg, all these guys are absolutely running him over in terms of performance. It's just that I think Winks can still offer us. I think he has the heart. I think he has the desire. He's a Tottenham fan. You know what I mean? He loves playing for this club.
Yeah.
And I thought I think it might be a mentality problem with him. Maybe he, just looks at these players and he's thinking, man, I want to play for the Euros. How do I get in? And you know what I mean? And I think maybe he could be in the mental block, but I don't doubt his desire. That's the difference. I think
Yeah,
that's the
look,
difference between him and Delhi, in my opinion. I think Delhi, I don't think he has any desire to play for Tottenham anymore. I think he's just finished with us, really.
yeah, look, I completely agree with you. Look, he's homegrown. Obviously, he plays for the badge and everything else. But look, the guy to me, he kind of knows his limits in the Premier League. Like he knows there's no point of him trying to take anyone on because he's going to get out muscled and he's going to lose the ball. He knows
Mhm.
there's no point of trying to put in tackles because again he's not aggressive enough. To be honest with you, I think he's afraid of getting injured, and he's just too comfortable basically playing sideways passes, keeping it ticking over because it's what he's limited to. Now for me personally, Marcelo, I think he is going down the same road as Dele Alli. I think it's just going to. I just think Dele Alli bet him to it personally. Because if you look at it, like Mourinho, to me, doesn't really know what to do with him. And he's kind
Yeah.
of at the situation for me whether he needs to go back and pick certain areas of the games where he really needs to dedicate to and improve on. Look, the guy can pass a ball. I don't know why he doesn't. Like, he needs to try and pass forward a lot more, be a lot more braver. But yeah, look, he's at the stage where he just needs to go and look and he needs to try and create himself a better player. And for me, he's till the end of the season to do it. And if not, he could be one potentially shipped on, especially if we get the likes of Sabitzer,
Oh
Marcel
yeah.
Sabitzer from Leipzig that we're being linked with. Now, look, that could be wishful thinking
Yeah.
after what was announced yesterday with the loss. But if that does happen, I think personally his days are limited, especially when we have Skip coming back in next season, or he could even be recalled in January. You don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you bring up a fair point. I just rather give Winks another season. But I mean, obviously, if we can get more money off him, obviously we do have the whole grown player issue. So we can't just be selling all of our English players. But I think if we can get a lot of money for Winks, I'm not one to say like, look, it's impossible. We can't sell them. Obviously, we can. And if it's smart business, it's smart business. Um, but I would just rather give him a season because I mean, I don't know if you remember in Musa, I think the 2017, 2018 season, he was awful, awful. You know what I mean? He was probably one of the. I mean, I couldn't stand watching Sissoko that season, but you know what I mean. But look how
Mm.
he turned around. You know what I mean? I think Winks has the same desire. I think he has the same mentality. It's just that he just has that mental block right now. You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
you said, because we've seen Winks play very well. We've seen him, when he is playing well, he can offer a lot to the team. But I think it's just a mentality block.
You see, that's the thing I heard a lot of fans say in Winks' defence. But like he's had 2 years more or less in and around the starting 11. And I can only think of a handful of games. Now that's not good enough over 2 years considering the amount of games we play. Personally.
That's true. Yeah. Listen, you're making all the correct points. It's just it, if we can sell him and get someone like Savitar, I'm all for it, man. You know what I mean? I'm 100% down
Yeah.
for it. I love that guy. I think he can offer so much to Tottenham. He has a great mentality. But I listen, if I'm just saying if we have to go with another year with Winks, I'm all down for it. I'm down to give him another chance. I'm down to give him another try. I'm a fan that where I believe loyalty also needs to be given back. I think sometimes I see in our fan base, you know what I mean, like especially in Nombele or when he had that trouble season, just telling him to sell him for Skriniar. I just think I like show loyalty to the player and give them the benefit of the doubt that they can improve. And I think in my opinion, we're not like Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans, like they did with Lukaku. Lukaku like missed a penalty and they shipped him off. I think what was it to Everton or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that type of fan base. I want to give our players a chance to shine. Same as Doherty. I completely hate the amount of hate Doherty is getting right now. I think he's been working his socks off and putting in a shift. And I rather just give him time, give him a year if I have to and see how he does.
Yeah, for me, look, everyone knows I love Doherty. Obviously, it's the Irish connection. You know yourself. I like to call him the Irish Roberto Carlos. It just winds up opposition fans up. They go into a frenzy, but how? Sure, Roberto Carlos and left back. I only do it to wind them up and get a reaction. It's perfect. But yeah, look, Doherty for me is one that obviously we haven't seen what he was producing at Wolves. But I think just give him time fitting in, like because you have to remember at Wolves he was playing a back five. He's now playing in a back four. It is a major difference because
It
you don't
is.
have that third centre back who's there to cover you. So
Yeah.
it's a lot more getting up and down. Whereas at Wolves you see the fullbacks. sometimes they don't have to get back as quick because they've three across the back to cover it. So for me, it's just purely like, look, he got an assist against West Brom for Harry Kane's winner. So look, for me, that can only breed confidence, and it's just a shame that you had to miss the last game against City due to coronavirus testing positive. Whether he is or not now, we don't actually know. But look, another point you touched on when you were mentioning Ndombele. For me, Winks is a player that, or Ndombele is a player that Winks could really look to, basically, because Ndombele, a lot of Spurs fans thought he was finished. Now, there was, like everyone said, had the same opinion. There's a baller in him, because the cameos we were seeing of him, he was making like passes and stuff like that. It was just his fitness and his attitude. But look, he seems to have got that right. He's completely turned it around. And for me, obviously Højbjerg is our best midfielder, but he's our second best midfielder in my opinion. And the guy's all-round game is class, and you could see it against City. He's a big game player as well, and the way he's turned it around, it's really a player that Winks could be looking up to, really, and go the same way. But for me, just personally, I just think Winks has this year, and if not, I think Mourinho will ship him out and look to bring in a better player, especially for the Champions League if we qualify.
I absolutely agree with you. If Winks doesn't turn up this year, like I said, I'm willing to give him this year. If he doesn't turn up, and for example, next summer, we play 2 or 3 games, and he still doesn't put that same, he's still putting that same shift. I think that's when we have to hold our hands up and say, look, you got to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? You haven't improved. We're a club that's hungry for trophies.
He's one of these players. You look at Sissoko, right? Sissoko. Look, the guy can't control the ball, he can't kick a ball, he can't pass the ball, he can't shoot the ball, right? But what he does do is his work rate, and he's willing to go tackle after tackle.
Yeah.
And like, like that's why he's in the team. You look at Højbjerg, what he offers the aggression, his positional awareness, just to be in the right place at the right time to make the tackle. His passing as well. Like at United, he made a tackle which led to a goal. That's what he offers to our team. And then you look at Ndombele. His all-round game, it's being able to break the line with a pass. Like you look at the pass over the top against City, he sent 2 midfield players for the train for City. A great ball over the top. And then you look at Lo Celso. Again, he's a similar stature to Winks, same shape, same size, but look at the aggression the guy has compared to Winks. And for me, this is just something Winks needs to really look at. And because look, at the end of the day, he's a Yid. He's a Yid through and through, and I really do hope he makes the grade. But this moment in time, for me, I just don't think he has it. But look, moving on to the next period of games, Burnley, Brighton, West Brom and City. Now, we kept 3 clean sheets out of the 4 games. But bizarrely enough, now, the Burnley game, a lot of Spurs fans wasn't happy, even though we got the 3 points and kept a clean sheet, which for me was major lessons learned after West Ham game, because before that game there would have been another game we would have crumbled after dropping so dramatically against the West Ham game the way we did. So for me, I don't get the criticism personally, because even the Brighton and West Brom games, a lot of fans were criticising. We only won them by a goal, but at the end of the day, it's 3 points that matter. And personally, my opinion is that Mourinho used them 3 games to implement his tactics going into the City game.
Exactly.
Just thinking back on it now.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. I agree with everything you said, but I also think a lot of fans and a lot of people have a misconception in football. If you look at, all these great squads, in Italy, or like the AC Milan, the great squads, you know what I mean? People tend to only remember the performances where they, score, 4-0 or had those masterclass performances. But, I'm a huge football fan, so I followed a lot of those clubs. I've seen them play because I just love seeing great football. And a lot of those squads, one of the main qualities of being a champion is being able to win 1-0. Being able to win when you're not at your best, being able to keep a clean sheet, being able to get results consistently, game after game, even though it doesn't look pretty. I remember seeing Kaká and all those guys have to play scrappy, dirty football and have to really grind out victory. It's just that those games people don't remember. You know what I mean? People only remember the big games. And I think, definitely if we win a trophy, people will only remember the, United, the City games, the big ones where we got the big results. And
but another thing you look at, Marcelo, City best Sheffield United there 1-0. They were praised. They were praised. Like these
Yeah.
bigger, like the likes of Liverpool, City, United, when they win 1-0, the praise they get. Oh, do you know, these are the games you need to win if you want to win league titles. Compared to the criticism we get, I just don't understand it. Do you think that's a bit of media bias? And
These
if so, why?
these pundits are a joke. Listen, I already said it. Sky Sports. If you want to get an opinion on Liverpool United, you go to Sky Sports. There's no Tottenham in that place. You know what I mean? They still hire Paul Merson, man. They'll get
Yeah.
these medias are a joke. Clown FC. AKA ESPN. Whatever. I call them Clown FC, bro. Did you see how they talked about Kane? That was disgraceful, man. You know what I mean? How dare she call Kane a mofo? You know what I mean? The amount of hatred and the amount of disgust and lack of respect that these people give Mourinho, Spurs is absolutely ridiculous. I turn off the TV if I don't see any, Tottenham guy in there. If I don't see, either Harry Redknapp, Glenn Huddle, or anybody that's, that even has an understanding of the club, I kind of just turn off. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear their opinion. I don't care. I just gotten to a point where the bias is just too much, and I just kind of turn off my brain to that, and I focus on the club. And I do think we have a championship mentality, not a championship, a champions mentality. I do think we have a champions mentality, and I disagree with everything they say.
Like, I don't get it because everyone knows that Turf Moor is a very hard place to go. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? It's a very hard place. You've seen Chelsea and teams like that fail there over the years.
yeah.
So I don't get it. The fact that we rocked up there, especially with Europa League games in between, the fact
Hmm.
that we rocked up there, we didn't get out bullied like we have done in previous years by them. We matched their aggression. Like these games, especially like Burnley, it's about matching their aggression and outrunning them, and you will win them eventually. You will break them
Yeah,
down.
you'll
And
nick a goal.
we proved that. We proved that. And
Yeah,
like for me, it's a win. I was delighted with because like I said, Turf Moor is a very hard place to go. Sean Burnley has them set up or Sean Dyche has them set up. The Ginger Mourinho, he has them set up very well, very well down there. So
yeah.
it was a great result for me. What was your opinion on that game?
I think when you play, I think when you play, I wouldn't say it was a fantastic performance. I think we can definitely do better. I think we've seen many
Yeah,
times we can split them open a lot easier in the past, but yeah, against Sean Dyke or whatever you call him, he is a very disciplined manager. He gets his teams very disciplined. So when you go playing against him, it's like playing against 11 goalkeepers. You know what I mean? And you have
yeah,
to have you can't rush it or else it'll get you on a counter. So you have to kind of like you said, meet their aggression and tire them out and whittle them down. And that's exactly what we did. And then we nicked the goal, and they couldn't do anything afterwards. They only had one chance, and it was a set piece, which Kane, beautiful. I mean that line clearance from Kane, that was beautiful.
yeah.
But they couldn't do anything. We completely shut down their counterattacks. We shut them down, everything. And that's another thing Jose has been doing. He has been shutting these teams down. We shut City offense down. We shut West Brom's offense. We shut everybody's down, and we always seem to be the one at most threat, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Look, moving on to personally, actually, the Burnley game for me was a game. A lot of people were questioning, oh, why did we drop? Why did we sit back after we scored? But now you can see why, because it was all in preparation to the City game. It's exactly what we done to City. But anyway, before we get to that, moving on to the Brighton game, the 2-1 win. You could see the passion and the relief on Kane's face. Um, uh, oh no, sorry. Yeah, the Brighton
Uh,
game.
um, yeah, Bale. I think you're talking about Bale, right? When Bale scored.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah, I
Gareth
just
Bale.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
I
you,
mean,
bro.
what a return! What a return for the King. He's a player we were all dying for him to get his first goal. It should have happened against West Ham, but it happened against Brighton. The first goal in the Premier League, and look, you could see the players were delighted for him as well. He was absolutely delighted, and again, it was another crucial 3 points, and no better man to give us the 3 points. Um,
I, I couldn't believe that, man. I was so happy. It was like being in 2010 all over again, as a little kid. I'm just like, Bale, just like, I just went screaming, man.
yeah.
I love that. That was such a great moment.
Look, and again, it was another win, which brought us up to 2 wins on the bounce. And look, we didn't get the clean sheet, But at the end of the day,
No.
we got over the line, and that's all that matters. And then we move into the West Brom game. Look, it was a very poor game, in my opinion. We didn't play it too well, but we got over the line. And to be honest with you, looking at that game, it's probably a game, like looking over them 3 games, when I look back, it's probably games where Mourinho told not to go out and probably go full pelt and smash these teams, because then it might make City a bit reserved. So especially the
Yeah.
West Brom game, like, it was a very poor performance. It wouldn't surprise me if Mourinho said, look, go out there, do whatever you can to get the win, but just, don't overexcel yourself. Go and then hopefully then City will be overconfident, and then we can play the way we did against City. And that's the game, where Harry Kane scored the winner with the Doherty cross.
Yeah.
And that sent us top of the league. You could see that there were the passion on his face, the joy, and to be top of the pile. It was a very important win.
Oh yeah, very very important, especially against West Brom. That's kind of our bogey team, man. They always give us a hard time.
Yeah,
So I was not surprised. I thought it was going to be a 2-0 victory at the time. I was close, but it was a game where, in my opinion, I knew it was going to be difficult. Listen, these relegation teams, people don't understand how tough the Premier League is sometimes. These relegation teams are fighting for their lives. If you listen, I don't know if you have any siblings or whatever, but I'm betting you're a family man, right? And you're a
yeah,
relegation player, right? You're a relegation player. You're down at that league table and you're looking at your kids and you're like, listen, I got to fight for my life here. You know what I mean? I got to
yeah,
fight to put food on my kids, table. I got to fight for my career. And so these teams that are not having the best result, you have to come in expecting that they're going to give their body, they're going to put their bodies on the goal line, they're going to, give everything they have to try to get any result, whether it's a draw, whether it's, a win. Because when you're playing a team that wants to get any result possible, they're much tougher because we aren't there to get the W. They are there to get any result they can.
yeah.
Any result they can is a win for them. So these Premier League teams, these relegation teams, I'm saying they're going to be so difficult to play, especially this year where the Prem is as tough as it's ever been.
Yeah, well, look, our results exactly back up what you're saying. Like, we bet Southampton, who were in around the top of the league, we trashed them 5-2. They tried to play open football, a high line. The same, look, we trashed United, which is a big team in England,
Yeah.
and we went and bet City 2-0. And like the likes of the lower teams are the games where we have struggled. But like you said, when you have everything on the line, you have your family security, and you want to try and stabilise that. Like you said, they'll scrap for everything they can.
Yep.
And we said coming into the Burnley, Brighton, and West Brom game, we wanted 9 points. We got 9 points, and they didn't let us down.
Yeah.
And
And so
then,
far we haven't been let down. You know what I mean? So far
yeah,
we've won every game, you know what I mean, since the West Ham. So yeah, I don't think we can complain.
no, we can't that. And then moving on to the City game, obviously the 2-0, absolute Josie masterclass. I said on my preview show that we were going to start fast, we were going to score early, then we're going to sit back and we're going to catch them on the counter, and it's exactly what we done. I said we needed a huge game from Toby, from Dyer, and we needed a huge game from whoever's going to play at right back, and that we needed to be clinical and take our chances. It's exactly what we done. Um,
Yeah.
you're still going to have the critics out there. Oh yeah, but sure, it was negative football. At the end of the day, the way I like to describe it is it's a Jose masterclass.
Oh,
This is what you bring the guy in for.
yeah. I mean, honestly, you can, if you look at the stats, it looks like we're kind of holding on, and I mean, like we just nicked 2 goals. But if you actually watch the game and you understand football and you understand defensive football, listen, this is a gripe I have a lot with people. I think people nowadays all they want is pressing, high intensity football, tiki taka. But listen, defending is an art. You go watch that Inter Milan and that Barcelona game with Jose Mourinho. That defensive performance was an art. Prime Barcelona, couldn't do a thing to Mourinho. A team that is that disciplined, that can defend the ball for 90 minutes so well. I mean, City, even though they had 20 shots on target, not on target, 20 shots on our goal, almost 90% of those chances were just desperate shots. There were desperate
Yeah,
shots. We absolutely shut down any attacking possibilities they had. They had only 1 or 2 chances with Jesus with the arm ball, and I think I think it was another one with De Bruyne. He kind of tried to like swerve a kick in a corner. I think that was the only time when really I kind of like, what I mean, like I had to hold my breath.
Yeah,
And but otherwise, I was watching the game and I was like, like City isn't hurting us at all. We're blocking all these shots. It's just
yeah,
desperate, and we
yeah.
completely shut it down.
Like I said, I wasn't nervous at all. Even when we
Yeah,
were 1-0 up, I wasn't nervous. Look, the handball, at the end of the day, a lot of people were moaning about it. Again, it's just because we're Spurs. But
yeah.
look, for me, it's handball. We got one given against us against Newcastle, which ruined 3 points for us. So as far as I'm concerned, it's tough shit.
Yeah, bro. I mean, they can cry. Woolwich FC, you can go cry, man. You have Arteta. Oh yeah, trust the process. Where is that process, bro? You're 11th. You're nobodies, bro. Dead food. I can't wait to play these guys. I cannot wait to
Yeah,
play these guys, man. They are dead food. I kept telling, I have an Arsenal fan and Twitter. I told them, bro, you can have all your history, all everything you want, but Thierry Henry can't play for you. You have El Neni and Lacazette, bro. They can't play for you no more, bro. You are a dead club. AC Milan, the next AC Milan, bro. Dead food. I'm telling these Arsenal fans, bro, they're gonna get touched when we play them, regardless of the Chelsea result. When we play these men, I cannot wait to play these men. I'm so confident.
yeah, yeah. Look, I completely share your confidence. Look, this is a club we absolutely hate. I nearly swore there. Sorry. Um, Look, Mikel Arteta. I actually hope they pin him down to a long-term contract, Marcelo, because the longer they do, the better. It's the same situation as Wenger. I actually wanted them to keep him on because it was only going one way, and it's south, and it was
Yeah.
backward. And at the end of the day, they let him walk away with his dignity, saying he was retiring. But at the end of the day, we all know he got sacked.
He got
And then you
sacked.
look, like then you look and you look at them saying, "Oh yeah, we're getting Arteta. He was schooled under Guardiola. He was Guardiola's sideman at the end of the day. That's all he was. That's all he
Yeah,
was, right?"
man.
And then you look at Pepe. They were absolutely loving it, praising this guy. Now, it's a player no one has ever heard of. They spent 70 million on it, right? And they tried to turn it from a joke into a world class player, right? And they paid 70 million for one assist and a headbutt.
Yeah, exactly. And you're forgetting one thing. Where is the party? Where is the party, bro? Where is the party?
Yeah,
Because all I see is the best Pierre in North London, bro. Pierre Hoiberg, baby. I'm telling you, man. Hoiberg is better than Partey, bro. I have not been impressed in Partey. And a little stat for you, in Atletico, he before he left Arsenal, he made the most errors leading to shots on goals for Atletico. I don't know if you knew
yeah,
that. These men are
no,
finished, bro. These men are finished. They're celebrating anything they can have, man. Anything they can have. They used to look. I don't like Winger, but you got to give respect to a Don. You know what I mean? He did it all. He won everything. I hate him, but it's like these men went from Winger to Pep's cone guy. You know what I mean? And they're happy. They're happy. We went from what? We went from having some horrible managers to Jose Mourinho, a winner, bro, a winner, a Champions League winner. You cannot compare us to them. We are at a different level right now. There's a new age in North London. There is a new dynasty being formed in North London, and North London is white. North London is right now, bro. I'm telling you, Jose Mourinho is he's bringing trophies for us.
Yeah, look,
Success.
I've no doubt at the time, Marcelo, that when Arsenal were looking for a manager around the same time as us, um, they wanted Mourinho. Make no mistakes about that. Just the fact that Mourinho had already agreed to go to Tottenham. So it's one of them situations where they didn't get him, so they're going to absolutely abuse him. And then big up Mikel Arteta, who's never won anything. I don't understand it. They're absolutely deluded over there. And do
They
you know
are.
what? I hope they stay deluded, because I've been telling them for the last 6, 7 years their club is going backwards. They're getting worse season upon season, right? And they haven't been listening. And all they want to throw in is, "Oh yeah, we've won more trophies." Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're about to break that dominance, and look, I'm so confident. Look, all I call them now is the noisy neighbours, because that's all they are.
They
It's
are.
literally all they
Yeah.
are, is the
They're
noisy
11th
neighbours.
place. Mid-table club, man. You know what I mean? And that FA Cup, I mean, I guess Arteta did win something. He won the FA Cup.
Yeah,
Had to
look,
had to correct you, but look at that. I think that FA Cup is a blessing in disguise for us, man. Because I already said it. I mean, like, look, nowadays, I know it's sad. I like the FA Cup as a tournament, as a tournament. I want to win it, obviously, but
Yeah, look, it's
winning the
one that
FA Cup,
Spurs love winning. They have a so for some reason we have a connection to the FA Cup. So I think every Spurs fan loves the FA Cup.
yeah, but I'm just saying that right now, the FA Cup isn't what it used to be, man. You know what I mean? Winning the FA Cup isn't going to transform your club. You need to get top
Yeah,
four. You need to be playing elite football. Nobody cares about if you win the FA Cup anymore. It's the sad truth. You look at Klopp, you look at Mauricio, when he came in the club and they look, how can I transform this club? Okay, I know. Let's play elite football. Let's play Champions League football. Let's
yeah,
build money. Let's get world-class players. Nobody wants to play for an FA Cup winning team. Everybody wants to
yeah,
play for a Champions League team. That is the truth of the matter. That is right now. And right now, since we've gotten European football, we've gotten elite Champions League football for 5 years. Look at our squad right now. Look at the people wanting to come to our squad, and look at the promise we have right now. If you're gonna ask me who has a better chance of winning the Premier League, Spurs or Arsenal, I'm telling you, it's Spurs any day. Unless you're an Arsenal fan, you're saying Spurs any day right now because we
yeah.
are a top team. They are not.
Yeah, I think it's what 6 or 7 points we're ahead of them now at the minute.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
No,
So,
they're finished, man. They're done. They're done out here.
like another thing, like El Neni, he's a player that was finished at the club about 2 years ago. He was loaned out. Mohamed El Sideways, right? And now all of a sudden they're talking about giving him a new contract. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It says everything about the club, man.
bro, they're giving
Um,
David Luiz a new contract. They gave Willian a 250 a week contract. Oh my, these men are finished, bro. All they're doing is
yeah,
eating Chelsea scraps. That's it.
they're Chelsea's retirement home is what they are. You have Beck, David Luiz, Willian, all players that were finished. Chelsea's retirement home. But
Yeah,
anyway, moving on. Just a quick look at the Europa League. So basically, we've played 6 games. We've scored 18 goals in them 6 games. And again, we've conceded 6, which is averaging 1 per game. But in that, we've also had 4 away games, which is long journeys thrown in over the league campaign, which kind
yeah,
of makes everything all the more impressive when you think of it on a whole, the Premier League and our run in the Europa League so far. It kind of makes everything a lot more impressive.
yeah.
Um,
I agree.
yeah, look, we're blowing teams away in that with 18 goals. Honestly, what's your opinion so far on the Europa League?
I think other the Antwerp game, I don't think I've been upset with a single game. I think we've done a professional job. I really hope, as a Brazilian, as a fellow Brazilian, I just want to see a Vinicius goal. I think he's a class player. I think he's a class backup striker. And I think he only needs that one goal, get his confidence going, and he can be firing all cylinders for us. And even sometimes helping out Kane, playing two at
Yeah.
the front. Even Jose has said it. He can bring
Didn't
a
he do
new
that against
element for
West
us.
Brom, I think, actually? Or was it
Yeah,
Brighton?
no, it
He
was against
brought on
West Brom.
Vinicius.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
brought in Vinicius, and if you look at since he brought on Vinicius, we look like a much better attacking
yeah.
threat because he's a physical player. He's very tall. He's very strong. He can win
He
the
gives us
headers.
options.
Yeah, he's like a much like upgraded version of Lorente, like a much upgraded version. And I
Yeah.
think he can offer a lot for us. And he just needs that one goal, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. He's had a couple of chances now where he probably should have scored. But like that, for me, he just needs that one goal to kick on and get that confidence. And we all know as a striker, a lot of it does depend on being confident in front of goal.
Yeah,
Just sometimes confidence alone when you hit something, it just ends up to find its way to the net.
yeah,
Look, he's a guy that I'm willing to give a chance to. He offers us a lot in terms of resting the likes of resting Harry Kane for these games where we really don't need to be playing him.
yeah,
And then as well, like you said, being able to bring him on in other games that we need to go for, because then we can switch it up. We can go 2 up top. We can get the ball out wide and get the ball into the box. It gives us a different sort of dimension. Or he can go up top. We can drop Kane back. Do you know? So he's a player. Look, I really hope it works out for him. I really
yeah.
do.
Me too. Yeah.
And
Also,
then
I think right now, though, we do need to just, if we're going to play him in the Europa League, I think Lucas has to start because I think
yeah,
right now one of his biggest problems is the language barrier, and I think Lucas can help him out a lot with that language barrier. Him and Lo Celso, because he also speaks Spanish, but um, yeah, I think that's what he also needs to
yeah,
work on. Obviously, it's going to be tough.
yeah. Well, look, time will tell. Hopefully, because we're going to need him coming into the Christmas period. So hopefully he can get a good
Yeah,
grasp of the language by then, and he can kick on. Um,
yeah,
yeah, look, we've 2 games. I think it's what I think we've 3 games left, 2 or 3 games left in it. in the group. Must wins really, especially after the loss to Antwerp. I think beating Ludogorets Thursday will give us
I think we're
a
already
massive
through, pretty
a
much.
massive push. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. So just in Europa League, basically, I don't know about you, but I'd like to see the likes of Dennis Sorkin and Harvey White being given a run out, if we can, possibly over the next couple of games.
Man, you great minds think alike, David. I that's why I always like you, bro. Great mind thinks alike. And I honestly I'm so done seeing Davies.
Yeah,
Your criticism of Davies is the same criticism you give Wanks. Only for me, Davies been doing it since he joined Tottenham. I cannot
yeah,
remember a
yeah,
single impressive moment of Davies at Tottenham. I've given this guy 4, 5 seasons to really push up a gear. I'm sorry. I'm a fan that I don't tolerate just average performances.
yeah,
I rather have someone like Aurier who goes in, gives them all, maybe fails, maybe has a horrendous performance, but he is trying to put an extra shift. Same as Doherty. You look at these guys, even if they have a bad game, you can see they are trying to get the ball forward. They're trying to do something, help out the team. Davies helps out the team with nothing, man. He can't
yeah,
attack. He can barely defend. I don't get this whole, this delusion idea that he can defend. His duels are horrible. If you look, the stats of his duels are
yeah,
horrible. He gets spun every game. Every game he gets spun. So I'm just so sick and tired of seeing Davies. I would love
yeah.
to give the Sirkin a chance. Love it.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Look, Davies is a player for me. I'm so frustrated with him over the years. He can't pass. He can't cross.
Can't
For
do
me, he
anything.
adds nothing defensively. He's very slow. And for me, when you play him, it's like playing with 10 men, to be honest with you.
It is.
Like
Yeah.
that's why you look back on last season when we had Aurier playing right back and Davies left back. Um, the reason why you seen Aurier push on so much is because Mourinho knew Davies' side of the game. Do you know, he knows there's no point to send them forward because he adds nothing. You
No.
can't play out from the back with these guys. And
Yeah.
for me, it's just the opportunity to give the likes of Dennis Sorkin a go at left back. But
Yes.
also, Harvey White, he's a player from our academy now. He's a dead ball specialist from corners and free kicks, which is something we lack in our team at the minute in our starting 11. So he's a player. He can also play left back as well, believe it or not. But he's
Hmm.
a player that I would love to be seen given a go in these Europa League games, and just kind of basically blood him and see what he's like, because we're, you're not going to lose anything by doing it.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good chance. That's one thing I also kind of disliked about this whole Europa League campaign. I wish we would have just given some youngsters chance, like Clark, White, and Sirkin. I would have loved to see them have maybe not even start, but just have like a few couple minutes just to see what it's like to play the senior football. And I feel like Jose didn't do that. Okay, as long as we get through the group, I don't really care.
Yeah,
But I mean, with Harvey White, I just think it's going to be difficult because if you look at our midfield, even our bench, man,
yeah,
it, it's
yeah.
it's stacked. Our midfield.
But he could even rotate Sorkin and White at left back, because I know White
Yeah,
can't play left back. So,
yeah.
that's an option there as well.
I
Um,
think I think it would be a little bit risky, even though I don't rate
yeah,
Davies at all. He still has experience, whatever it is. He still
yeah,
has some sort of experience. So I think we do need a little bit of security in the bench. I mean, what if Sirkin has kind of a disaster class and it doesn't work out?
yeah.
You got to put someone, more experience in there.
Well, for me, it comes down to, if we're qualified for the last game, I think you'll see the lads thrown in, and it's about just taking their chance then, really.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, why not? I mean, I don't care if we're through and we're top of the group. Throw Sirkin, throw everybody in. I mean, we can play our whole youth squad for all I care. Our under 23. It's a good
yeah,
time, good minutes for them
and now
against
just
good
the
opposition.
last, yeah, just the last competition to touch on is the League Cup. We got a bye in the first round, and then we bet Chelsea on penalties. Also, you have to remember that game was thrown in between a Premier League game and a Europa League game on a Thursday.
Yeah,
So it was a huge effort. It was a huge effort from the lads and the management team, basically, to get the team set up right and get the result and get us through to the next round,
yeah,
which we have Stoke in, which should really, realistically, we should be beating them, and we should be into a semi-final and then a final. So we're potentially 3 games away from a final.
yeah. Stoke is going to be a. I don't want to, I mean, like we should be beating them 3-0, something like that. But if you look at our fixtures, we do have a lot of games. So it is going to be a tough game, and the way they always set up, defensively. I haven't been watching too much of the championship this season. I usually do, but I haven't been keeping up. I've been kind of busy, but um, I think Stoke, they're gonna do what like Burnley does. They're gonna play 11 men in the back, and they're gonna be
Yeah.
hungry for this trophy because it's really possibly the only slight chance of winning a trophy they have. So you better expect them to give it them all. But I think we should have the quality, and if we came in with the right mindset, it's all about coming in with the right mindset.
Yeah, well, look, knowing the Stoke manager, he's the ex-Northern Ireland manager who got some huge results for them in qualification campaigns, and he got them to a Euros. So we know he's going to set up defensively, and they will be set up defensively sound. So it is again about taking your chances when they arise in that game. But look, it's been a pleasure, Marcelo. But last but
Oh,
not least, how many points would you take from our next 5 games, which is Chelsea, Arsenal, Leicester, Palace, and Liverpool?
I would take a draw against Liverpool. The rest of those, I want to win them all, baby. I want to win them all. You know what I mean? So I think
Yeah,
that's like 12 points. I'm not very good at math, but I think like I'll be okay with 12, 13 points around there. I want to win the league, man. I'm hopeful with this team. I think we can do it. So I don't know why. Why not aim high? You know what I mean? Why not say it? Screw it. Let's beat Anfield's record. Let's go in there and let's beat Anfield's record. I want to do it. You know what I mean? We can do it. We have the squad. So yeah, just
yeah.
be
Look,
positive.
if Anfield's a place where we can rock up and win, that's just a major statement right there.
Yeah.
Look, as you say, we're Spurs fans. I want 15 points from the next 5 games. I want the big club mentality going into these games. And if we're going for the league, these are the games we need to be winning, because after that, then we've a favourable run of fixtures, which will suit us down to the ground. So these next 5 games are very important. And I'd love to have you on over the next couple of games,
I
whenever you
love to
can,
come on.
basically, just to kind of discuss them and basically just keep seeing where we go from there. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure as
It's been an
always.
honor.
I'm a big fan of yours,
I'm a
and
big fan of you, David.
thanks
The
very much,
goat.
Marcelo.
All
And
right, thank you. Come on, you Spurs.
come on, you Spurs, and to all the Yids out there in the Harris Army, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also put your comments in on your opinion, on your thoughts and opinions on today's show. Thanks very much, and thanks, Marcelo. We'll see you again.